So in today's video, we're going to cover your metabolic rate, how to increase it to make losing fat effortlessly, but also on how to maintain the level of fitness once you get it, to make sure you don't have to lose the fat and then gain the fat over and over again, like most people do. Now, most Portuguese people have been blessed with a good metabolic rate, but the only problem is, as you get older, that tends to decrease only if you don't take care of yourself. Now, there's a metaphor that I really like that I use with my clients, which explains how metabolic rate in your body kind of works, right? Because at the end of the day, your metabolic rate equals the daily calories burnt. And the metaphor to explain this is, imagine you're a car. If you've done nothing in your life, or if you used to exercise before, but you don't anymore, you're just like a car that you see in the streets, like a Ford Fiesta, a Renault Clio, whatever, okay? But those cars are really economic, meaning they're really good at saving fuel. You can go 100 miles, 200 miles, whatever, and the tank doesn't really go down. Now, if you compare that to like a Ferrari or Lamborghini, you'll go the same distance, but you will burn more fuel, meaning that doing the same distance, the tank goes down lower, okay? And obviously the goal with every single client to make it super easy to then maintain the fat loss levels, to maintain like a good physique, energy levels high, having a good body, it's for you to get to be a Ferrari, okay? And the way we want to do this is for 3 ways I've got here, okay? That's building more muscle, it's having protein and good food quality, and then taking care of your stress and sleep. Those are the 3 major things that will impact your metabolic rate. So if you're in your late 30s, 40s, or 50s, your metabolic rate will naturally decrease, but not because you're getting older, it's because you're losing muscle. If you don't use the muscle, especially as you did when you were younger, when you're more active, or just when the body was younger, then muscle is going to decrease. It's not actually your age that's making your metabolic rate go down. There's plenty of surveys out there that show that age doesn't really have an impact on metabolic rate, and the impact that it does have, it's so minimal that it doesn't really even matter in the bigger picture. Now, muscle does. Muscle you will lose, especially when you're entering like late 30s or even mid 40s and above. Then yes, your body will tend to lose muscle quicker. But there's a way around that. There's a reason why we have clients like in the 50s and 60s that have still built muscle just like they were in their 30s in the past. And that goes into the first point. More muscle equals increased daily calories burnt. So to get from the Ferrari to the Lamborghini to the Ferrari, you want to obviously increase your daily calories burned. So the amount of calories that you're burning on a day-to-day basis. Now, the easiest way around that is muscle, because muscle is more expensive than fat, meaning that muscle just burns more calories than fat. So me doing this video, you watching, you cooking, you working, you doing whatever in life, even outside the gym, by having more muscle, you're gonna burn more calories than if you didn't have muscle. So this is why, and it's where most Portuguese people fail, that you should just go to the gym and do cardio. Cardio, yes, it will make you lose weight, but it will make you lose fat and muscle. Again, muscle is expensive, so the body is going to look to burn things that are not necessary. So if you're not using your muscle, cardio is going to make you lose muscle. Fat as well, but muscle as well. Meaning that as you get lower and lower and lower, first of all, you're not going to have the physique that you want, that you thought you would when you lost the weight. But it also means that you're going to get to a point where your daily calorie burned amount is so low that you physically just won't be able to lose more fat. And then once you stop doing cardio only, because no one enjoys that, you're going to gain that fat way quicker and go back to square one. So what I recommend and what I do with pretty much 99% of clients that work busy jobs, have families, is work out 3 times a week, okay? And now, this doesn't have to be anything crazy. Strength training can be done in short periods of time. About 45 to 90 minutes is a good spot, depending on how much time you have. But you don't need to be training 6 times a week, every day, doing an hour and a half, 2 hours. That is not beneficent, okay? More does not equal more progress. So focus on the quality and focus on building muscle. You will not only look good, you'll feel better, and it will increase your metabolic rate, meaning you will lose fat a lot easier. Now, the second thing is going to be the amount of protein and the food quality that you're eating on a day-to-day and week-to-week basis. So out of all the macros, your protein, your carbs, and fats, protein is going to be the most important to preserve muscle. Now, every single macro has its purpose, so don't fall under those fitness myths of someone that people tell you that you shouldn't eat your palm, okay? No carbs, that doesn't exist, all right? Every single macro has its purpose, otherwise we just wouldn't have it. But in this case, protein is going to be the most important. And it kind of links back to muscle, and that if you don't have enough protein, you're not going to be able to recover fast enough, and you're not going to be able to build the muscle. So you want to make sure you have enough protein for your body and for your lifestyle. Now, the second reason why we want higher food quality and not just like processed stuff, McDonald's, going out with oily foods and so on, it's because it will not give you stable energy. Now, we want to make sure we have stable energy through the whole day so you can make better decisions, more logical ones rather than emotional ones. Now, the reason why we want to have good food quality is also to make sure you have stable energy levels so that you're not like spiking up and down, crashing after work, feeling really hungry and start making emotional decisions, where realistically you need to make logical ones. Processed food, going out to a restaurant can be okay, and it can definitely be within your lifestyle. I go out, I sometimes eat like crap, but majority of the time you need to be looking after yourself and after your health, okay? And to make sure we do that, the macro protein and food quality is going to be the most important. And then the bonus point for protein is that it also has the highest thermic effect. Pretty much every time you consume your macros or the type of food, your body needs to burn calories to digest that food. And thankfully, protein also takes the most amount of calories for your body to process. So it's a win-win. You get to preserve more muscle and be able to build it, and also burns the most amount of calories. Now, the third point, and it's probably the trickiest, but the most important to focus, especially for long-term health and to make sure your metabolic rate stays at a healthy level, is your stress and your sleep. Having consistent poor sleep or being stressed and not being able to calm your mind down is going to increase your cortisol levels. And high cortisol will pretty much get your body to enter into survival state, okay? Exactly where you don't want to be. When you're in a survival state, the body does not want to lose fat or be able to grow, okay? It's going to want to kind of protect itself, and by doing that, it's actually going to damage it long term, okay? Most of that is going to be putting on fat, decreasing your metabolic rate, which obviously we don't want to be doing here. So making sure we have a consistent sleep routine. If you can't, make ways to increase your REM sleep, which I've got another video on this. And with stress, whether it's family, relationships, or work, make ways to work on this, okay? This is towards more the personal development and self-control, but it's just as important for, again, high quality of life and increasing your metabolic rate. So if you actually want to improve your quality of life and, once again, increase the metabolic rate, you need to make sure you're recovering properly. And building muscle is a part of that. Eating well, making sure you're hitting the right macros, having good, high quality food is important, and so is your sleep, okay? If you sleep like crap, all this goes to the bin, okay? I want you to imagine this as this is your foundation. If you have crap sleep, you're not going to make good decisions when it comes to food. Your body's going to be hungry, it's going to be in survival, it's going to eat whatever is easiest. It's going to be lazy. If you have poor sleep, you're not going to be able to build muscle. You're not going to have the effort. Again, you're going to be lazy. You're not really going to want to build muscle and improve yourself. So this is the core foundation of everything that we discussed today. And last of all, if you're constantly stressed and you have poor sleep, you're also going to lose muscle. And this is the exact system I've used with myself and over 200 clients to increase their metabolic rate, okay? Which not only gets them to lose fat, build muscle, and look good, but it also allows them to then maintain that lifestyle for years on end. And the biggest bonus point is by you increasing the daily calories burnt amount, again, by you becoming the Ferrari, it means when you go on holiday, when you have parties, when you want to go to a wedding, when you have a holiday, whatever it is, you're going to be able to enjoy yourself more. Because on a day-to-day basis, you're going to be burning more calories than most of your family and friends. So you not only look good, feel good, but you're also going to be able to out-eat them and not put as much fat on. So if you found this video useful, then make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, as I'll be uploading more videos like this in the near future.